just had an OBS issue. OBS kind of crashed on me at the last second, so hence why we had to delay it by a minute or two, but we are good to go now. We'll be on for the next 45 minutes before we do the Monday Night Football games. Calling 2 games at once later tonight, but before we do that, we got some big news on the docket. Not JFK with a tour, 6 head coaches fired already, including college and NFL. Yeah, a lot of chaos right now, and we are not done yet. We are not done yet. So, we're going to be doing this emergency live stream. Appreciate JFK. Which game do you want me to do? I'll get you in the call for it. This is for Friday night. So Friday night, we're going to be calling a college football game. Louisville, Miami, Nebraska, Minnesota, San Jose State, Utah State, or UNC Cal. Every donation counts as triple. You have today and today only to decide on this one. So, which game do you want? I will get you on it, JFK. Appreciate you a ton. So, the reason for this stream, we have 2 big news on the docket. Number 1, the Tennessee Titans have fired Brian Callahan as their head coach. You want Miami? Get you on Miami. Appreciate you, man. They have fired Brian Callahan. Mike McCoy, former Chargers head coach, he will be the interim as we were tied at 3 in the Mariners game. So Mike McCoy going to be the interim. But Brian Callahan, after winning just 4 games in his first season and a half, he is gone. Titans have 1 job to bring back Jeff Fisher. Yep. And then Brian Branch suspended for a game by the NFL after the incident last night with Juju Smith-Schuster. So let's talk about both these things, and then we will get to everything in the chat. So regarding Brian Callahan, this is 100% the right move. I hate it as a Jaguar fan, as someone who got so much content out of him, but this was 100,000% the right move. Unfortunately. One final dumb decision on Callahan for the road. Yeah, we're going to do a supercut. I'm going to upload a supercut tomorrow of all the dumb decisions, and I'll also have a video coming out tomorrow as well. But we will do a supercut tomorrow. I'll post that. Yeah, we're staying in the NFL for everyone except Titans fans. Yep. Come on with the 2 Mariners for the Mets. I mean, it's 3-3. I mean, they were up 3-0, and now it's 3-3. That's not really... The game just started. It's not really a like collapse, if you want to call it that. Which game do you want? Come on, appreciate you, man. Which game do you want? First place and first place only gets the bonus for emergency live streams. So, regarding Brian Callahan, Supercut is just everything. It's just every single dumb decision in 1 episode. So it's like a 60-minute thing. We'll just put all of them in one. So before us fall asleep, oh, that sucks. That sucks. But 4-19 as the head coach. Brian Callahan was absolutely terrible. Hey, the ads are back. I just realized that. Well, that sucks. Well, Miami, I'll get you on Miami. That sucks. I don't know why the ads are back. I just realized that. Oh, man. But Brian Callahan, he had to go. He absolutely 100,000% had to go. 4-19 as head coach. 4-19. He was not improving Cam Ward whatsoever. Cam Ward was getting worse and worse and worse. There was only 1 good quarter Cam Ward played. Other than that, the offense looked lethargic. For an offensive-minded guy, that's a problem. That is a problem. Every decision Callahan made seemed to be the wrong one. We saw the Week 1 game against the Broncos where he gifted the Broncos free points because he was aggressive down by his own goal line for no reason. Oh, nice, Michael. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Brian Callahan's historical bad. Yeah, it's not great. Maryland reacts to Justin Franklin. I could say potentially if they fire their coach. If they don't make a bowl game, I think they could. Go for Kingsbury. You know, that wouldn't be bad for Ward. You want to go after an offensive-minded guy. Franklin would be very bad in the NFL. Franklin would be very bad in the NFL. One of the coaches are fired by the end of the year. Gannon, yeah, I think Gannon's some. McDaniel gone. Taylor, Harbaugh, they're all fired by the end of the season. Glenn, I think he'll last the full season. Then after that, I don't know about that. How much Lynn stitching yet? All right, yeah, it's good. Do I feel bad that Callahan got fired? Yeah, I wanted him so badly to keep his job. Thought donor with a $5. New key, find out you don't type him as often. Yep, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Brian Callahan is no more, and I will be losing a lot of money on dumb decisions. Free from football terrorism? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah, walk up to a dumb decision? Yeah, I have to check it out. I know we was talking about that the other day, so I gotta check it out. Which game do you want, Thought Donor? Appreciate you, man. Which game do you want? I appreciate you a ton on that one. But Brian Callahan, you saw that he didn't know the rules. He was delegating his responsibilities. If you just watched the post-game speech he had against the Cardinals, the players seemed checked out. The players seemed very tuned out, checked out. It just was not working. Nothing was working. There were no semblance of things getting any better anytime soon. They had to fire Callahan. The problem right now, though, is that the Titans are a mess, and Amy Adams-Strunk has no idea what she's doing. A dual stream between Minnesota and Miami. Well, I can't do two at once, but I can split if you want. Oh, go to one list next season. Oh, yes. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Jeff Fisher, we got on Titans 7-9. Yes. Let's go with the Gophers game. All right, I'll get you on Gophers. It was a weekly series with Callahan. Yeah, unfortunately. Mike McCoy's the interim. He's bad, but you just want a guy who knows what he's doing as head coach. You want a guy in Mike McCoy who knows what he's doing as head coach. He knows the responsibilities. You don't want a guy like Jeff Ulbrich, where he's a guy that has never been a head coach before, has no idea what that entails, and that's a disaster, potentially, in the making. Mike McCoy at least knows how to be a head coach. He's not good, but he's done it before. Mike McCoy was the Chargers head coach for a little bit, got into the playoffs in 2013. He's not good by any means, but at least he knows what he's doing in terms of how a head coach should operate and the responsibilities. He's not learning on the fly, if that makes sense. And that's how you want to head coach. Yeah, Cowboys say fire. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Yeah, McCarthy, that'd be funny. That'd be funny if McCarthy came on. So, with Brian Callahan, at that point, it was, what do you do? If you don't know the rule book, because clearly you didn't know the rule book, because Iomanor, the catch he had against the Broncos, didn't know that. He delegated his responsibilities, so he wasn't calling the plays on offense anymore. He seemed to get everything wrong. He was chastising the media. It makes no sense why he was there for that long. Penn State job, Matt Rule. It made no sense why he was there for that long. I'm glad he is gone. If you're a Titans fan, you should be glad he's gone. I'm not glad as a Jaguar fan. Yeah, he'll get a chance somewhere else. Well, yeah, he will. Don't worry, James Franklin will get a chance somewhere else. But it makes a lot of sense why they fired him. And I think it's the right move, unfortunately. As for the other big news that dropped today, Brian Branch suspended for a game. The Titans have announced, Mike McCoy's the interim for this season. Yeah, no more Callahan dumb decisions, unfortunately. The new coach of the real McCoy, we will see. We will see on that one. As Brian Callahan could not survive another night. Should have been fired 10 months ago. Yeah, Callahan should not have lasted. But the thing with the Titans, before we go to Branch really quickly, the thing with the Titans, with all of this, is you've now, McCoy being the interim, I'm fine with it. It makes a lot of sense. He's not that good. Jets coach worse now. Yeah, Aaron Glenn's probably the worst right now. At least, like McCoy, he at least knows what he's doing as head coach. He knows the responsibilities. as a head coach. Bengals upset the Steelers on Thursday. I mean, they could theoretically, but I don't see it happening. Eberflus, Cowboys CC, he's terrible. Does he lose his job? He should. He shouldn't have been hired in the first place. He should not have been hired in the first place. Glenn next. I think McDaniel next. But Glenn will be fired before 25 is up. So he will not be the head coach in 26, barring anything insane. Glenn is clearly an oversight. They did a dumb decision on him. The logic yesterday made no sense with Glenn. On the fake punt, the logic made no sense whatsoever. With the fake punt and then the strategy afterwards, I just didn't know what on earth he was doing. Franklin's, Callahan's, which were more necessary? I would say Callahan. I'd say Callahan. Because you were wasting Cam Ward's development. So, when it comes to ABM Strong, you've now overhauled everything multiple times without cleaning house all the way. So you fire the GM, but you keep Callahan. The GM now drafts Cam Ward. Head coach gets fired. Now the new coach is tied to a quarterback that he doesn't want. Like, you gotta, like, these half resets, we saw it in Jacksonville, it didn't work out. It never does. We do the half reset for guys who are unproven. It doesn't work out. And it didn't work out here, and now they're going to have to do another half reset. Negative with 2, which game do you want? I predict they hire Eddie George in the offseason. Ooh. I don't know. A guy with no NFL coaching experience, I don't know if he'd make the jump from college to the NFL. I don't know. Obviously, he would take the job in a heartbeat, but I don't think that'd be a good move. You fire Vertical Callahan? Yeah, that was a mess. Brent's suspension's upheld? Fact. Fact on that one. We will get to that in just a second, but yeah, fact on that one. The negative with a 2, I'll get you on the Tar Heels game. Bucks see the Lions by at least 16 next Monday. That's a bold prediction. I don't see that happen. I don't see it. Yeah, Cape Verde going on to the World Cup. Which is awesome. First time ever. Brian Callahan was bad, but more wins than Glenn. Yeah, but he also coached way more games. You'll go with NCR. I'll get you on that. Appreciate all you guys. Again, everybody against this triple. Kubiak? Nah, Kubiak's got health issues. I don't think Kubiak's going to do it. Lose the Dolphins, Brown should get fired? Yeah. McDaniel should be fired. Chance Stanton and Jeff Fisher, the interim GM? Well, they just hired a GM. So that's the problem. Like, it's a half reset. They hired a GM earlier this offseason. who was stuck with Callahan. So, did they take too long to give on anyone else other than him? I mean, Todd Downing. So, yeah, small publisher in the Wyoming, it's crazy. Browns are a dumpster. Yeah, but they lost 21 out of 25. Stefanski's not doing a good job. Yeah, that is a bit of a red flag with that. But these half resets. ADM and Strunk last year should have fired the GM and fired the head coach. Fire Callahan after 1 year, fire GM, and they have a new regime. You have a new regime at that point. A mid-season game where there was a double firing after? No, I've never seen a coach get fired after a win. I've never seen a coach mid-season get fired after a win. Liam Cohen? No. Coach report to the GM or does coach report to the owner? Depends on the team. Depends on the structure of the organization. Usually coach to the GM and then GM to the EVP and then to the owner. Usually it's something like that, but every organization is different. Everyone's different. Spencer should be fired. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. So the Titans have another half reset. This is not an attractive coaching vacancy. That's a problem because AM and Strunk has shown that she is not good as an owner. Where it has a half reset worked? Very rarely. Very rarely. Don McCormick was with the Jags? I did not know. A half reset. The only time it works is if you have the coach who's good, but then the GM, it's like you gotta get rid of him. Or vice versa, where it's like, okay, you know this guy's good, but the other guy is not good. So when the Chiefs, Andy Reid, you knew he was the guy, but they got rid of the GM. That was a little bit different, because he was a proven coach. So that can work, but if you're talking half resets where it has no idea, no, it doesn't work. Falcons have tonight, what's the percentage? Depends on how well Penix plays. I go 30%. I go 30. And then it's finally Golden Boy from the little we've heard from people inside. Yeah, you kind of had to do it. At that point, Callahan had no responsibilities. He wasn't calling the plays. Right, 2 half resets, not a full reset. Yep. Rams don't kick a field goal. So the field goal, the thing is that Cardi missed a 26-yarder earlier. Cardi missed a 26-yarder earlier, which was I think they don't trust in Cardi anymore. By half reset, I mean keeping a GM, not the coach. Yes. And vice versa. Yeah. Clean house completely. James Frank made the Titans? Now. That'd be funny. I would love that. Aaron Stark has her hands pop football too much. Needs a higher football person to make the decisions. Yeah, they need their own, but sell it. Yep. Yeah, right now, it is a mess. It is an absolute mess right now when it comes to the Titans. It is a complete and utter mess. Christopher Messier, not the best person. Not the best person. The land was already discovered by that point, so I'm a nay on that. Your Lord's really bad. Baltimore can defend it? Yeah. Double game, yes. We have Bills Falcons at 7:15 and Commanders Bears at 8:15. So with Brian Callahan, again, it was the right move. You had to do it. But with Brian Branch, that was the other news. If you watched the end of last night's game, Brian Branch delivered a slap to the face on Juju Smith-Schuster after the game was, oh crap, Devin Lloyd's out for Sunday. Oh crap. That just broke. Devin Lloyd is out for Sunday's game. That sucks. Well, we're screwed. But it's kind of a mess right now. Eagles going to do a half reset. Well, that's different. That one's fine because you know the GM is good. Yeah, I'm talking like unproven. I'm talking like unproven. Like two really bad people. Like obviously if you have a good GM, a proven GM, that's a little bit different. Pete the Rock with a fire. Appreciate you, man. Which game do you want to get you? Okay, North Carolina or Nebraska versus Minnesota. Perfect. Titans need to focus on how to help Cam Ward. Yes, they do. And not the first time Brian Branch into violence on the field. Not the first time at all. Not the first time. Half point stream coming soon, hopefully. Demonstration on Callahan final game. I don't know yet. I'll get you on Nebraska game. Appreciate you, man. Counts as triple tournament call again. Everything counts as triple for this one. So we'll get you on that one. Yeah, Callahan is Ward was getting worse and worse. The fact that you can't, if you have a rookie quarterback, you want to give him the best possible spot to succeed. Appreciate it on the pump again. You want to give him the best possible spot to succeed. And what you had right now with that, or remember for 14 months now, Fox Sports needs to rebuild the NFL coverage again? Yes, they do. You come out for the season? I don't know about that. Hopefully not. Monitor for $85 to split screen sports, that's nice. Pack over the lines, though, it's not high. Low NASCAR coverage, that's bold sports in terms of production is mid. Yeah, I don't even think it's mid. I think it's just bad. I think it's just bad. So, the thing with Brian Callahan is that you need a guy that can develop the quarterback. Callahan doesn't call the plays. The offense sucked last year. It sucks so far this year. The only reason they won a game was because Dan Marcano dropped the football and the interception got dropped. Only reason they won. We can all agree that game was a fluke. The Titans winning was a complete fluke. Yeah, they took away the nicknames. I don't like that at all. Not my call. Unfortunately. I hate it. I hate it personally. Lions front's not even close. They're 4-2. They're still more than fine. They're still 4-2. Maybe a bit worried about the defense, but I'm not worried about the Lions. No, not at all. Callahan was calling the plays. He didn't know the rule book. He was chastising the media. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. You had to get rid of him. Should have fired him last year, and then you hire a coach that can really develop Cam Ward, because now Ward has to learn a different playbook next year. He is going to be behind in the process. It's just not a good situation. It was a long overdue move, but it should have happened last year. Should have been a one and done, and then you just cut your losses, start over, and you have a new regime, and you give some stability to Cam Ward. Leicester quarterback taken first overall on the first coach is fired. Yep. Crazy how that works out. Well, two of them stayed on, because you have the number one pick, you keep the coach for some reason. If you have the number one pick, you really should fire the coach. Callahan, worst coach in Titans history? No, Bill Peterson's the worst. Bill Peterson's the worst, but Callahan's second worst. Announcers of the early 90s, CBS announcers at Fox 1. Oh, who was worse? The announcer I ran about yesterday. Easily. Most shocking to least shocking? I really wasn't shocked. I guess Foster might be the most shocking in terms of I really didn't think they'd do it. Callahan was the least shocking. As was Pry. Pry and Callahan were the least shocking. Texas win rather season? I think it does, yes. I think it does. I'm still not sold on Arch, but he looked a lot better in the second half. Where's Hack work now? Good question. I score, appreciate it. Is he with the Packers? Where is he now? Is he like an analyst? Yeah, he's an analyst with the Packers, yes. He's an analyst with the Packers. Right, he's the worst with Tennessee, easily. Callahan's easily the worst when moved to Tennessee. Bill Peterson's the worst. Peterson is the worst of all time. Callahan is second. Worst. The Titans have 6 touchdowns all year. One of them was a Cardinals pick. They fumbled backwards. Yep. Yes, so really 1 touchdown a game. How shocked was I? Not at all. Not at all. And then in terms of Brian Branch, the thing happened after the game. He slapped Juju Smith-Schuster. You have to punish him. You have to. Otherwise, you set the precedent. It's a free-for-all. After the game, you set the precedent. You can do whatever you want, and it's a free-for-all. James Franklin, he was pretty high on the list. I was not surprised that he got fired. I was not surprised. I had a feeling it was coming. Interim coach is Mike McCoy, the former Chargers head coach. Interim coach is Mike McCoy, who led the Chargers to playoffs back in 2013, but it's not done a whole lot after that. Yeah, he's a defensive analyst. Hackett is a defensive analyst now. Worst head coach ever? I mean, I'd probably go Urban Meyer because of everything he did. Urban Meyer, there are no redeeming qualities with Urban Meyer. He assaulted his players. He grinded on women at bars that weren't his wife. He didn't know the players in the NFL. Before Callahan, it was Peterson. Oh, in Tennessee? Ooh, in Tennessee, I'd probably go Wizard Hunt. Is Indiana Jones watcher like Rossi's Indiana Jones jokes? Yeah, they're good. Callahan get an OC job? Probably not. He didn't call the plays in Tennessee at the end, and the offense sucked. I think he gets a position coach job, but I don't think he's going to get a OC job. A lot of us in Tennessee were praying for a change and hoping it would have happened preseason at latest. Yeah, should have happened last year, but better late than never, at least. You know, Hugh Jackson sucks. Hugh Jackson sucks as head coach. Tyler James Franklin, I would laugh so hard if that happened. Branch gets away with a 5, haven't started the game. They don't take kind of a physical altercations pre and post game. Yeah, exactly. It becomes a free-for-all. You basically, if you didn't suspend him, you give the message, you send off the message, you can do whatever you want. We've seen guys slap other people, punch other people before. What Branch did was gouge the eyes. I mean, you saw the hand was in there. The hand was in. Second worst coach in history, probably Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz by Petrino. James Frank go to the NFL? No, he's going to stay in college. Zarian Smith retiring? Yeah, he's getting up there in age. He hasn't been effective in a while. I get it. Yeah, it might be recently by Jackson. Wasn't talking? No, it's... Urban Meyer was a special kind of suck. Well, take for players to stop drive the football before crossing the goal line. Someone to get cut. For that. Wait, no, yeah, exactly. With Alshire, yeah. Well, that was a repeat, yeah. That was a repeat history, and then he got ejected at least, though. He did get ejected from the game. This is, you can't eject the guy because the game's over. You can't penalize the guy 15 yards because, well, the game's over. So you gotta do something. And this was the right move. You can't be about player safety and then not punish Brian Branch for attacking a guy after the game is done. Aaron Glenn next week, yeah. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, that's a clear one and done. Aaron Glenn should be a one and done. Yeah, he went for the eyes. Yeah, he was gouging the eyes. Like, it was inside the face. It was not just a regular slap. He was going inside the eyes. Cotto was really bad too. At least he made the playoffs, but he was really bad. Yeah, Kirby looking questionable, and then all that. Is that a long-term answer? Knoxville? Yes. I think he's a very good coach. I think he's a long-term answer. Hugh Jackson or Urban Meyer? I would probably take Urban just because if he tries, he might be good. Hugh Jackson just sucked no matter what. LB is Rick for the Blue Jays? How? Why would it be rigged for the Blue Jays? Yeah, it shows a little, no, yeah, exactly. They're like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way they're going to suspend him. That's soft. You're soft. And sure enough, he gets suspended for a game. Sure enough. It's like you had to do it. On a national TV audience like that, you had to do it. Raven wins every game, so Harbaugh gets fired. Yeah, I think Harbaugh, his seat is warming up. His seat is warming up. Yeah, at least he got the facility. That is true. At least he got the facility. And at least his drafting wasn't too bad. But we know Brian getting fired was the right move. Was the right move to do it in week 6. You couldn't do it anymore. You couldn't keep him on anymore. You just couldn't. Gamana with a 250. Appreciate you, man. Go back to 1. All good. All good. Get you back in 1. And then David T. Man for 9 minutes. Brian Branch shows poorly. Very, very poorly. You're not kidding. He chose poorly. Yeah, Quay Walker. Yeah. Quay Walker foul break Susan game. Yeah, but at least he got ejected. At least Quay Walker got ejected for that. So, at least with Quay Walker, his team got punished. They got penalized yardage. This is, you can't get penalized yardage because the game is over. So, you kind of had to do it like this. If this happened during the game, he's not getting suspended. If this happened during the game, he's getting suspended. No, Rule's been good everywhere he's been. Rule has won everywhere he's been. He turned around Temple, turned around Baylor, turned around Nebraska. Owner selling a team being merged to LIVESTREAM with it? 100%. 100%. Continue on the NFL, just focus on college since Vandy and Tennessee Tech have phenomenal years. Yeah, Vandy looks good. I know the one loss to Bama, but they're looking pretty good. Pretty good. Kellen Moore's out, one's on. No, Spencer Rattler is developing. Look, as an offensive-minded coach, Spencer Rattler looks really good with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's not one and done. It would take a lot for him to be one and done. He's not one and done. Because you got a good offense right now with Rattler. Biggest takeaways of Broncos and Jets. Bo Nix, the sophomore slump, it is time to be a bit concerned. I think that's the big takeaway, is that it's time to be a little bit concerned with Bo Nix this season with the sophomore slump. And the Jets, it's just blow it all up. Justin Fields is not the guy. Play Tyrod Taylor at this point. You're not going anywhere. Fields is clearly not the guy. At least the offense looks competent with Taylor at times. It's not fair to everyone else on the offense. How can you evaluate your guys when Justin Fields can't get rid of the ball? Fields is bad, and Glenn needs to be one and done. Indiana looks good, and their schedule is pretty easy the rest of the way, too, so they're in a good spot. Bears win tonight, are they legit? Depends how they win. I gotta see what Caleb Williams. Glass report look for another guy on the D-line. I think it's Simmons. I think they're looking at Simmons. From what I've seen from Dilla, and from what Rappaport has hinted at, they're looking at Simmons from the Titans. I don't know if they're gonna... I don't know if they would trade within the division, but yeah. Was this the right decision to fire Callahan? Yes. Callahan wasn't calling the plays at this point. He didn't know the rules. He was losing games. He lost the locker room. The right time to fire him was 9 months ago. Or 10 months ago. It was 10 months ago. Cam Ward screwed? Depends who they get as their next coach. Branch is appealing the suspension, by the way. How the Colts players get injured in the pregame? Anthony Richardson, I have no idea. I have no idea how the eye got injured. The other guy, how he got injured, that was easy. He ran into someone else and got concussed. All good, injured, Brock. Appreciate you, man. That's how he got injured. He ran into someone else and got concussed. So, that happened before in Chiefs Chargers 1980. I did a video on that a while ago. But Anthony Richardson just an eye injury. I don't know how that happened. Thoughts on Joe Flacco? Thought Joe Flacco would watch. Why did he do so well last night? I mean, he still didn't go down the field. He didn't look great. He looked fine, but he's going to have, like, decent games, but he's not the guy. Yeah, Branch deserves a suspension, though, with cheering for the Lions. Yeah, eye injuries and attacks making comfortable. Yeah, after what, you saw what happened with Brandon Spikes, Florida Georgia with the eye gouge. I thought that was awful. Like, see, Brewers, Mariners, that'd be a fun storyline. That'd be a fun one. Yeah, we can only get one. Unfortunately, we can only get one, JFK. We can only get one game. Yeah, just wait until we get Rasheed Rice. Yeah, the Chiefs are good. Chiefs are in a very good spot. Chiefs are in a really good spot, actually. The Chiefs are going to get healthier. Offense is clicking. Mahomes looks as good as ever. As long as Chris Jones can play well again. I'm a bit worried about Bucker, though. You get one more back and you get Bucker back in form, you're in a good spot. The no-call PI is worse from what has been worse. That was one of the worst. I think Colts-Packers 1965 was worse, what they call the missed field goal good. But other than that, I mean, that's up there. I'm going to say Nigeria qualifies tomorrow. Jason Eck is an option. That'd be a good move. He was very good. Idaho has been good so far. I like Eck a lot. Flacco had 40 passes, still hit 200 yards. Yeah, he can't go down the field. How many bad coaches have the Jets had? Have they ever had a one and done? Not counting Lou Holtz. Never had a one and done. They have not had a one and done. Gase was 2 and done. Koday was 2 and done. Not counting Holtz, they've never had a one and done. Unless we're going back to the AFL. I think was Bulldog Turner a one and done? I don't think Bulldog Turner was a one and done. But is Aaron Glenn now the worst coach in the AFL? Yes. Right now, he is. Right now, Aaron Glenn is the worst coach in the NFL. At this point, he does not do anything right. The team is worse than before. They're more undisciplined than before. Pete Carroll, yes. Pete Carroll, 94. Yes, Pete Carroll, 94. The forgotten man. Yes, Pete Carroll. Yep, Pete Carroll, 94. Yep, you were right on that. You were right on that. Before they got Kodite. Yes, because it was Kozlitz in 93, and then Carroll 94, and then Kodite 95, 96. Yep. And then Parcells 97. You were right on that. My bad. How did I miss that? Thanks for giving me honest. I missed that one, yeah. Yeah, but Glenn right now is the worst coach in the NFL. Glenn is the worst coach in the NFL. Carroll's 94. Carroll was 94. Because that was the fake spike. 93 was still Kozlitz. Because that was the game against the Oilers. That was week 18. Worst coach in college football history? Oh man, there have been some bad ones. Levant was pretty bad at Utah. Levant was pretty bad. I don't know if I call him the worst, but Levant was pretty bad. Imagine if I were Carroll for Kodite. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, Kodite, yes, they would say, yeah. Yeah, top of the AFC looks a lot stronger this year. It does. Aaron Glenn, yeah, the dance moves are good. The dance moves. Factor fixture lines are the best team in the NFC North anymore. Packers and Bears may be better. I'm not ready to crown the Bears just yet. Packers, I haven't been impressed by the last month. I've not been impressed by them the last month. Yeah, Bulldogs are, yes. Okay, so Turner did last 1 year. Okay. Aaron Glenn's Coach Kenny wasn't a good DC with the lines. Well, the defense was competent without, I think people like his fiery attitude, and the defense was competent with all the injuries. I think that's what gravitated people toward Glenn, that he's a fiery guy, and the defense looked competent with the injuries that they had. Tom Levant, 5-28. 5-28. If the Ravens just the playoffs, Harbaugh's done. I think Harbaugh's done. I think it's time for a change there. Yeah, Cody was 7-2 with the Eagles in 94, and then back all against the Falcons and proceeded to miss the playoffs. Yep. Packers are 2 seed in the NFL. Right now they are, but I haven't been impressed by them. I've not been impressed by them. Wait, what, 7.1%? Yeah, no, I have not been impressed by them, though. Jordan Love is inconsistent. They have some holes. What did Brunch get suspended for? For slapping Juju Smith-Schuster after the game was done and trying to gouge his eyes. Fitzgerald come back to be the head coach at Iowa, Wisconsin. Ooh. Antonio Pierce was not fired after that game. Wow. Yeah, I wonder why he wasn't fired after the game. The Dallas scored 30 points in the only game that mattered. Yeah, but they shut down Sam Darnold in week 18 to win it. Do you think Jags at the playoffs? Their schedule gets a lot easier. After the bye week, it gets a lot easier. We're not playing our best football right now. We're still 4-2. Probably going to be 4-3 at the bye, but Miller Kaiser getting Sabbath rolled out this week? Yes. Absolutely. How the Jets playing was him enough to play for got shut out 24-0. And they feud on the sidelines too. Remember Buddy Ryan was feuding with the offense coordinator with the slaps and whatnot and the punches. Jets the worst team in the NFL? Fact. 100% fact. 100% fact. Is there more quarterback in the NFC right now? Well, he's missing a lot of throws deep down the field. His deep ball accuracy, it's like 30% of the time he's going deep and instead checking down, it works, and 70% of the time it's not great. Number one quarterback in the NFC right now is Baker Mayfield. For my money, it's Baker Mayfield. Nothing worse than Mariners only playoffs? I don't agree with that. Right now, 2-point conversions, that was 4% possession loss. Yes, it was rough. It was rough. That was Sunday Night Football, too. That was Sunday Night Football. The Packers have the same boat as the Steelers. Both are not as good as the records of Jags. Yes. I think Jags do make the playoffs. I do think they do. Well, Benito breaks Strahan's sack record this year. He's playing out of his mind right now. He is playing out of his mind. Will he break the sack record? I'm going to say no, but he's going to get awfully close. I think he's going to get 19. I know he'll get 19 this year. Bucs going to be number one seed in the NFC. I'm going to say fact at this point. With that division, I'm going to say fact. Adam with a 279. Which game do you want to get you on the call for? Tom Grossi agrees with me about the Pack? Yes, he does agree with me about the Pack. Which, I mean, look, they're winning games. Credit to them for doing that, but I can't really say I've been impressed by them, especially after how they start the season. They start off so well the first 2 games. I'm like, okay, this team could go all the way. And then, I mean, the Cowboy game was a bit concerning defensively. Jordan Love has been a bit inconsistent. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know with this team. I don't know. I can't even tell the post of the regular season, exactly. Which game do you want to appreciate you, man? Jets O-line and Field just sucks. Well, I think the Jets O-line is not good, but Field's not helping there as much. He missed guys wide open. He needs to get rid of the ball quicker. 61 field goal for Folk, he can't hit that. He's in his 40s at this point. He can't hit 61. Fourth, they have a chance of converting. Right, Groh wasn't fired. Yeah, he left for the Virginia dub in 2000. Yeah, he left. He didn't get fired. Jets blow and force Wood Johnson off the team. That would help. Final rank for Tennessee Vols, I'm going to go 9-3. Dak, an elite quarterback? No. Elite is thrown around a lot. I consider a very good quarterback. But elite is thrown around a lot. Second worst coach in the league. So if Callahan, or not Callahan, if Glenn is 1, again, I might be 2 right now. McDaniel's up there. Gannon might be 2. McDaniel or Gannon might be 2. I would go with one of those. Taylor's also pretty bad. Stefanski's not great right now. I would probably lean Gannon. I would lean Gannon. Fields system quarterback without a talented team, he falls apart. He's never been good. I mean, Fields is never good. I don't know how he got an MVP vote that 1 year. You saw him like lower levels at minus 10 passing yards, but somehow even worse because it was in 2025. Rams fix their special teams today. Dark horse win the NFC? Yes. I mean, I don't think they're a dark horse. I have them winning the NFC at the start of the season. I had Bills Rams in my pick. I'm sticking with it. I had Bills Rams in my pick. How good has Parsons been in Green Bay? Not great. Clark, also not great, but Parsons has not been the guy just yet in Green Bay. Now, McDaniel's a heck of an OC. McDaniel will be a great OC. I think if the Eagles fire Patullo, McDaniel will be a great OC for them. I agree with you on that one. Pat Fitzgerald, someone just brought it up earlier. Fields has never improved from one team to the next. No, his pocket presence is still just as bad as it was in Chicago. His accuracy is bad. His decision-making is bad. He's not a good quarterback. Yeah, Walker Little, he has not been good. That last game was an embarrassment. He was getting beat so often. And it's bad. I'm hoping he turns it around because that's a pretty big contract that we gave Walker Little. And I like the guy, but he's fallen off a cliff this year. MVP will make Fields a Hall of Famer. Yes, it does. Yes. He has more MVP votes than Russell Wilson. That is insane to think about. That's a legit stat. The fact that Justin Fields has more MVP votes than Russell Wilson is insane to me. Hey, the Cowboys with Dak Harris at corpse of defense? Yeah. No, Dak's the top 10 quarterback. Dak is definitely top 10. I'm not going to say elite because elite is a very, very, high term to use. It's a very, very high term to use. But I would not say it's bad. AI description of the stream? I have no idea what the AI description is of the stream. I have no idea. Only one quarterback in the league I put over Love, and that's Lamar? No, come on. Josh Allen's better than Jordan Love. Patrick Mahomes is better than Jordan Love. Come on. Patrick Mahomes is better than Jordan Love. It's not even close. Love is a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but Patrick Mahomes is way better. Stefanski, where does he go? I could see Miami. I could see Miami. 20.6% win percentage in the playoffs. Right now, we're not saying he's a good playoff quarterback. We're just saying, again, we're not saying he's elite. He's a good quarterback, though. He's a good quarterback. Who needs to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? That's not in there already. Ken Anderson, Roger Craig. They need to be in for sure. Yeah, Love is 12th. Yeah. He's near that top 10 range. He's near the top 10 range. He is not the second best quarterback in football. Today's stolen line, honestly, it might be Trevor. It might be Trevor right now. In Gordon Love, yes, I do. Yes. College versus fancy. College is a lot of work. It's so different now with NIL and the transfer portal. You got to recruit your guys to stay every year. I don't know if a lot of these guys want to go back to college for that. Torrey Holt, yeah. Well, I don't count Holt because I'm only counting guys that are not eligible on the modern ballot. So Torrey Holt will get in at some point, hopefully. Torrey Holt is on the modern ballot. Field change positions. He's not a quarterback. I can tell you that much. I would. Best quarters in the NFL. I like Campanelli for the defense for the Jaguars. Spagnuolo is the best DC in football with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's really, really good at what he does. Joe Brady's up there as well with best corner. Patrick Mahomes is better left hand than Jordan Love. Yeah, Vrabel's turned the Patriots around. I'm not surprised. Vrabel was a heck of a coach at Tennessee. He was a heck of a coach there. With any decent quarterback, he's still there. If no one gets hurt in 22, if they're not playing quarterback roulette by that point, and they have a better GM than John Robinson, he's still there. And the Titans are still a very good football team at that point. Vrabel has turned that team around. I'm not surprised to have him in the playoffs this year, and Drake May's playing out of his mind. And Chase Eagles with the playoffs? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I think it could. I think with the way Patullo's offense looks, they have a negative point differential. They've not looked convincing in the other 6 games. I think they're in some trouble. Should be an OCDC award. There is. There is. There already is an assistant award. Nobody here with the screen. I recognize some people. I recognize most of the people. A cap ceiling, all I did was allow the teams who are already paying for players to just go out and worry about getting caught. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Wild West right now. The NCAA clearly had no plan. They had no plan, and the fact that they lost 9-0 at the Supreme Court shows you how awful their plan was. See, Cleveland Browns agree to make the move to Brick Park. Yeah, It makes sense. It makes sense. You want to roof on that so you can host events year round. I get it. I still don't get why they have to pay money to Cleveland. I know the Art Modell rule that they can't move the team out of the city, but at the same time, you're moving it to the suburbs. It's not like you're moving it out of the city. Like, there's a letter of the law and the spirit of the law. Like, the letter of the law says you can't move the team. Spirit of the law is you can't move the team from Cleveland to Los Angeles. Not Cleveland to the suburbs of Cleveland. I like Cohen a lot. I like the way he coaches. I like how the offense looks in terms of the game planning. I like Cohen a lot. I like his energy. I like what he brings. Yeah, I'm showing the Toronto game. It's not good right now. The holding on the Cardinals Colts, was that a hold? I'm going to say no. It wasn't catchable, so it wasn't PI. Was it a hold? I've seen it go either way. I want it to be a hold because I didn't want the Colts to win, but I'm fine with them not calling it. If I made the next coach, I would intentionally sabotage the team. How many dumb decisions would I make? 0. In terms of time management, 0. I'm not sure I win a lot of games, but in terms of time management, I would not make any dumb decisions. I mean, I've said it on stream before. Like, you see my thought process in real time. Joe Brady was driving me ahead of me earlier today, made a right on red. He's not a coach material. He also, he shoves strangers. He doesn't say thank you. Yeah, he's not a coaching material. He's not. How's it going, Thoughter? Again, appreciate the donation earlier. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you telling that one. Who's number 1 right now? Number 1 is Kamana right now by a hair. Jags going to play the home games in Georgia? No, they're going to play in Orlando. So between Orlando and Gainesville, it's probably going to be Orlando. It's going to be Orlando. Yes, we lost Kosovo? Jeez. I know France was in trouble against Iceland. I didn't see how that game ended, but I know France was in trouble against Iceland. Who's next to get fired? I'm going to say McDaniel has to be up there. Glenn's not getting fired right now. I don't think he's going to get fired right now. He'll get fired at the end of the season. Gannon, it's falling apart. McDaniel, there's no leadership. Zach Taylor's not getting fired mid-season. The Browns, Mike Brown's not going to pay. By the Browns, I mean the Browns, the owners, not the Bengals. But of the Bengals, I mean the Browns, as the family that owns the Bengals, are dirt cheap. They're not paying a guy to not do anything. Demonstrated in terms of play calls? Not a lot. I don't think a lot. Glad he's go down around without him. Yes. He is making all the wrong decisions. He is pressing all the wrong buttons. He has no idea what he's doing. That thought process on fourth on the 2-minute drill. It's like, okay, we're going to be aggressive by running a fake punt, which, by the way, the fake punt, you have the starting offensive line on and Breece Hall, who had never played special teams before, taking the direct snap. So everyone knew it was a fake punt. It barely worked, but it did. So it was the most obvious fake punt ever. There was no element of fake in that one. So that didn't make a lot of sense. But then you're going to be conservative after that, which defeats the purpose of the fake punt. They're going to be aggressive, then conservative, then aggressive, and then your press conference is going to make me even more confused. And they're going to criticize reporters for asking whether Justin Fields is the guy. And then you say, I'm not going to bench a guy who had one bad game. You literally cut people earlier for one bad play. That was a good contract. I think another 3 years. New stadium be built. When will it be built? The Jaguars? Well, they're building it right now. It's just renovations. So 26 will be half capacity. 27, it's going to be like a whole renovation. 28, it's going to be ready. By 20, it's going to be ready. Leopold City warming up? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's warming up. I think Kansas football, what Leopold did to get that program to where it is now is impressive. Kansas football has been the seller for a while. Leopold turned that program around. I think he's got a long leash. He's got a long leash at Kansas. I'd be very, very surprised if he gets fired anytime soon. Yeah, net negative 10 is amazing. It really is. In today's day and age, with the nice weather outside too, Baltimore being 1-5, I don't see that coming. I don't think anyone did. I think you're lying to yourself. You saw Baltimore at 1-5. I think you're lying to yourself on that one. Iceland tie friends. Wow, that's a big point for Iceland. Big point for Iceland. But the thing with Aaron Glenn, the fact that he said, Dan Campbell, first area, thoughts on NFC West, best division football right now. Niners, when they're healthy, are good, but I just don't trust them to stay healthy. Seahawks, I don't trust Darnold under pressure, but that's a darn good football team, and Jason's a top 5 receiver in football, maybe top 3. Branch, he slapped Juju Smith-Schuster after the game was done. Tried to gouge the eyes. He got suspended for a game. He's appealing, but I don't think it's going to happen. What do you think of Ben Johnson? I think if he can turn Caleb around, he's the guy. I'm not crazy about, I wasn't crazy about the first game he called. I need to see it against the Commanders. This could be a big tell tonight. I'm iffy on Johnson. I'm iffy on him. But the thing with Glenn, the fact that he said with Justin Fields, I'm not benching a guy for one bad game. May I remind you, you have cut a player every week every time they make a mistake. Did he not cut Isaiah Williams, Xavier Gibson for a muff punt? Did he not cut Isaiah Williams for a special teams gaff? Did he not cut a bunch of different players when they had a bad game? And you're going to say I'm not going to bench a guy for a bad game? Like, really? Come on. Who the Jackson play in London in 2020? They didn't announce it. They did not announce who they were going to play in 2020 in London. We know what's good. Yeah, they didn't announce. We knew we were going to play 2 games in London as the home team, but we didn't know who it was going to be. Yeah, Ben Johnson were taking the Jags if Malkin was gone. Yes, but Cohen, it worked out. Look, Cohen and Johnson were my 1 and 1A. I wanted Cohen and I wanted Johnson. It was like, you get one of those two, I'm happy. I wonder if I went inside the Brazilian position left the last piece out. Yes, they have been. They have. But I think Kansas, the way that they've improved under Leopold, I know this season's not worked out. Last season was a disappointment, a major disappointment. But I don't think Leopold is getting fired anytime soon. Feels in why they're losing. He's a big part of it. In what world is it not why they're losing? I just want they implode suddenly. Zach Orr's not a good DC. Lamar Jackson injury doesn't help as well. Fields is absolutely the reason why they're losing. He's a big part of it. Negative 10 net passing yards. How is he not the reason? And then behind Fields, Tyrod Taylor, who's actually better. Tyrod Taylor's a lot better. And now Garrett Wilson's out a couple of weeks, which is great. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. Hang on a second, guys. Pass legit Walker team? Absolutely. That schedule's a cakewalk and breakaway still out of his mind. All right. Ian Rappaport about the Titans. What's going on in the future with the Titans? I am so sorry, Titans fans. It's about to get a whole lot worse for you guys. It's about to get a whole lot worse for you guys. Again, Mike McCoy's the interim. And let's play what Rappaport says about everything. Get ready for this. This is the update on the Titans coaching search. Who they're expected to go after among the names to watch.
Yeah, Brian Callahan officially fired as the Tennessee Titans
Here we go.
head coach. Really not a huge surprise. Just
get ready for this.
Down the field and given the sort of lack of improvement of the Tennessee Titans roster, 4-19, 1-5 this year.
I'm not sure what it
Jeff
would be.
Simmons, really one of the leaders on this team, talk about how
It's a poor man's
the
Jaden Daniels.
practice was. You knew that something was coming. You knew that Amy Adams-Strunk was not happy in this building. It was really simply only a matter of time. That time came today, less than 2 seasons into Brian Callahan's tenure.
Get ready for this.
Mike McCoy officially named
so we knew that.
interim coach, former Chargers
Panthers
head coach,
about 500. Yep.
faces, of course, the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel, the former Titans coach. Theoretically, you could argue it would have been worse if the Titans had not fired Callahan, played the Patriots, a blowout loss. It all would have looked worse. Anyway, as far as the Titans, they now have to find a new head coach. A couple names to watch. I would say Matt Nagy, who worked with Mike Borgonzi in Kansas City, certainly would be a name to watch. The decorated Chiefs offensive coordinator, and then Arthur Smith, the former Falcons head coach, also a former OC in Tennessee. Okay.
So the top 2 guys are Arthur Smith and Matt Nagy. The top 2 guys for the Titans are Arthur Smith and Matt Nagy. I'm allowed to play the audio. Yes. Yeah, that was by design. Arthur Smith and Matt Nagy. That's what's going to fix the Titans. I am so sorry in advance. Looks like I'll be going back to the dumb decisions. Well, yeah, Arthur Smith, who was awful with the Falcons. I mean, I've said he overstayed his welcome and was never good. He was terrible at calling plays. And then Matt Nagy. So 2 guys that could not develop quarterbacks. Just throw names out there. Well, he said the top 2. He said they're going to look at those 2 guys. So we will see on that. E3 day, jeez. He might bear those. He might be. He might be. No, I'm dead serious. Matt Nagy and Arthur Smith are the top 2 guys right now, apparently, in the search. Grizzard's a good one, too. Grizzard, he's doing a good job with Tampa. They just keep developing OCs. Like, you got Canals and you got Cohen and now Grizzard. I mean, they got guys. Tyler Huntley type career. I can see that. Yeah, that's a good comparison, too. Great value, Dan Campbell, and 1 year wonder. Yep. Kingsbury. Yeah, at least Kingsbury could develop a young quarterback. At least that. AM Strunk is not serious, no. AM Strunk is not a serious owner. I was expecting a retrade regardless of what the Titans do, yeah. With AM Strunk, again, it's not a desirable job. Jeff Fisher, yeah, that'd be great. It's not a desirable job. Unless you really like Cam Ward, it's not a desirable job. You're stuck with the quarterback that you didn't draft. You're stuck with a GM that could potentially get fired in the middle of your regime, could have a hot seat just because he has a year advantage over you. So if the Titans are turned around by year 3 of his tenure, you could be gone by year 2, Pittsburgh making a playoff run, odds 80%. With how bad that division is, 80%. Right, more available in the offseason? Yeah, they will be. But again, the Titans' job is not a good one. The Jets are a good job. The Jets are a good job if Glenn gets fired because you'll get the number 1 pick. You can draft your quarterback. Like, you at least have your quarterback. The Dolphins will be a good job if they fire Greer because you can start from scratch. You can do all that. But a team like the Titans with an owner who is near the bottom of the NFL and has had a quick trigger and has done these half resets out of nowhere sometimes, it's not a great job. Yeah, Tree just laughing. The headline's fake for the Titans firing and hiring head coach. Yep. I'm laughing right now, too. As a Jaguar fan, I'm laughing. Yeah, biggest reason is not a vacancy. Yep. Ammon Strong is reason number 1. Reason number 1 on that. Reason number 1. Yeah, Flores have a much better option than either of those two chuckleheads. Well, Flores, you're not going to go with a young quarterback. Flores, I think, will get another job at some point as a head coach, but it has to be with a quarterback who's established. It has to be, we saw with Tua. He could not develop Tua, and the relationship was very strenuous. If he is a quarterback who is already proven, didn't he get fired from KC? No. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say the Bills fire McDermott. Let's say the Bills fire Sean McDermott. The problem with Flores was his development at Tua. They did not get along well. He didn't treat Tua well. And didn't give the rookie any confidence. He shattered his confidence. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. You know what you got in him. So that'd be fine. Blue Hair Lord moving AM and Strunko. I love that. I love it. We'll do that tonight after the game. The AJ Brown trade was the beginning of that. I was loving life. When I heard on the announcements in the draft that the Eagles were on the clock, or the Eagles traded the pick and the Titans on the clock, I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They actually did it. Right, Flores won Herbert not 2, that's half the reason I hate to it. Yep. Top candidates for the Chiefs OC job be if Nagy got poached. McDaniel. Probably McDaniel. Jets, good job. Yeah. No, actually, if you like one of these quarterbacks, Jets would be a good job. Hey, happy habits on the string? It depends. Yeah, they traded AJ Brown. That was really when it all went downhill. You ever just keep Aaron until the offseason? Well, they're going to. They're keeping the interim. They're not hiring a coach in the middle of the season. Mike McCoy's going to be the guy for the rest of the season. Mike McCoy's the guy for the Titans going forward. And Frank Peterson, I could see that. I could see Peterson coming back. Please not Press Taylor. I mean, it would be fun if they had Press Taylor, but please not Press Taylor. Denver could be a trade partner for Tua, depending on Nick's struggles continue. Nah, you don't know what Tua. He's one injury away from being done forever. The Titans saw the running back was more priority than the top receiver. Yep. But Derrick Henry's good, but then you lose Henry and you lose Brown, and you have no one. Now you have no one. You know, like if you like one of these quarterbacks, you like Mendoza, you like Simpson, you're going to start from scratch. You can build that team from the ground up. You can build it from the ground up. The Titans, you're stuck with Ward, and if he's not your guy, you're screwed. Not getting halfway only prime for a cold dead hands. Yeah, he'll be a top option by a lot of people. Yeah, Bree brings back guys who worked with him before, yes. Yeah, Pierce would be an option there. Top 3 coaches in the league right now. I would say top 3, we'll go Reed, we'll go McVay, and we will go with Reed, McVay, and I'm leaning Shanahan. The job he's done with no one, with all the injuries, the job he's done has been pretty impressive. I don't know if would I go top 3? I'm okay with that. Could go Tomlin as well, but I'm not crazy about his management. You also consider Doug Pearson for offensive consultant. At that point, I don't think it'd be a power struggle at that point. You have a guy that won the Super Bowl with you guys, and now he's his offensive consultant. No, he wouldn't do it. Jets get their first win. I have no idea. Maybe the Browns. O'Connell, yeah, I could see O'Connell. I think he's had one playoff game before that, but yeah. Titans win the Southland 22 with Brown. Yeah, I mean they win the Southland 22 with Brown, or if they fire Downing, or if Tannehill doesn't get injured. Campbell? Oh, yeah, Campbell. Campbell's a great pick, too. I might go Campbell, actually. Campbell over Shanahan. Yeah, let's go Campbell. Justin Mingo jumps since 2010? That's not true. If you like the guy, if you like one of these quarterbacks, you get the number 1 pick, you can do anything. How drunk will the Chiefs be when Reed retires? Depends on Mahomes, how well he's playing. But probably not, because there's a lot of pressure being the guy to replace a dynasty. There's a lot of pressure on that. And Mahomes is playing well. it would be a very good job. If not, if he's on the decline and the writing's on the wall, it's really not good. It's really not good. As the Mariners take a 6-3 lead, Polanco 3-run shot into right center. I'm rooting for Haiti in that one. I'm rooting for Haiti in that one over Honduras. I'm rooting for Haiti in that one. Yeah, but Jets get their first. Opinion on the Steelers, I think the best team in that division. I'm not sure how good they are. Rodgers doesn't look washed, at least, which is good to see. Metcalf's been a beast. He was balling yesterday against Tyson Campbell. I think Steelers are a good team. I don't know how good, but they're the best in that division by far. Trey Cam Ward redraft in 26. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Drafting QB having to compete with Ward with a number 1 overall pick after 1 year? No, you're not doing that. We see guys give on first-round quarterbacks before, but not number 1. 22 AFC South, one of the worst finishes of all time. You are right on that. You are right on that. Spagnuolo, yeah, I think Spagnuolo and Tay would be as well. I think they would be options as well. But yeah, no, Ward's the guy. Ward's the guy in Tennessee. At least for another year. Yeah, if Kelsey retires, we have to see. We have to see. It only matter of time before A-Rod goes back to playing a watch quarterback. He's doing all right right now. Doing all right right now. Yeah, really like that successor picked out. I would think so. I would think so. All right, last call for anything. Unpredictable season. Yeah, the parity, it's wide open. Parity, it's wide open. I could see it going either way. Very, very wild season so far. Okay, last call for anything. Otherwise, we're going to do Bills, Falcons, Bears, Commanders. That'll be the next stream that we're going to start in 20 minutes. I'll change the cases and everything. Brody, it's a Fleece Cincinnati. Well, he can still play. Where to? I mean, Pittsburgh would be a good spot, but it's not going to happen. Pounds give on Bryce Young? Not right away. They gave up on Young after 1 season, but not... This Dawn was worse. Yeah, but he was the starter going in. They didn't trade Young after 1 season. They didn't trade him and draft a successor. Kyler Denver, 26. I could see that. Aces making the crazy run. They're a dynasty, and Wilson's one of the best players in the history of the league. I will say the best player in the history of the league. 4 MVPs, built a dynasty, and there are a lot of great players. Lisa Leslie, Swoops, Parker. A lot of great players in league history. Wilson's the best. World Series pick, I have the Mariners. I have Mariners, Dodgers. The other guy retired for 1. How the bonus work? You both want Miami, so it's easy enough. Or actually, no, you're number 1. You got the crown. You got the crown. So whoever's got the crown, you got the crown. So that's the bonus. So, click that link above to join the Bills, Falcons, Bears, Commanders stream. We'll be live for that. We're going to call 2 games at the same time, channeling the inner Kevin Harlan. Appreciate you guys a ton, and I will see you guys in 20 minutes' time for the next stream that we are doing. Again, Brian Brandt suspended for a game for a slap on Juju, and the Titans firing Brian Callahan. See you guys in just a bit, and we'll call some more football to cap off